Hey everyone, my name is Chenny from Goldfinger Holdings. I am the product manager of TestRay app inside Jira Cloud. Today, I'm going to talk about how to build relations between requirement to test case to executions to defect. So in this micro webinar, you will learn how to build requirement hierarchy, how to build relations from requirement to test case, and how to build relations from executions to defects. So the links here I'm talking about is from TestRay app, not Jira native links. Okay, good. Now let me switch to my demo instance, TestRay demo here, and go to test page. This is the page where we start using our TestRay app. So to do requirements or to view requirements, let's go to this requirements page. All the requirements created by a TestRay will be listed here. Now let me just create a brand new epic. So here it is an epic for module X. Let's say it is such kind of requirement. So let me select a sprint, TD sprint 1, and then create. Now the epic has been created. Let me refresh the page. And then you will see the epic I just created listed at the bottom. Let me open it. And you will see requirement details. This is the TestRay panel from where you can build your requirement hierarchy. Let's see, for the epic, I want to split it into smaller pieces, some user story. So I can simply click on this create child and then choose story. Let's say story 1, make it simple. And let me choose sprint 1 and then create, let's just create 2. Story 1 is down, and then let me create another one, story 2, and same sprint, and then cancel it. Now, if I refresh, you will see the relations between this parent and story or the child. Such kind of hierarchy has been established. You can go further for your user story to create, break it down to even smaller pieces of dev tasks like this way. Create a child and then choose dev task. You can say dev task 1. Let me just create 2. Create another and dev task 2 and then create. Now let me refresh again. You see now I have 3 levels of my requirement. The first level is the parent in epic issue type, and then the epic is break down to 2 stories, and then from user story, dev manager created 2 dev tasks. This is the way how you build requirement hierarchy with or TestRay links. So think about that. I have a story and I need it to be tested. So in this case, you can establish the relations between testing team and requirement from this test case tab. For example, here, you see the issue type will be updated to test case automatically. You can see it is the first test case. Let's say story 1 or test story 1. Let's just make it a simple. And then TD sprint 1, I want to create another one and then create. Now the second. Now you see there are 2 test cases created. You see here, once the test case creation is done, the relations will be established automatically. That means if you open your requirement, and then you are able to see the test cases created to cover this particular requirement. So in this requirement, single requirement issue, I just introduced the requirement hierarchy, use TestRay links, and the test case created by TestRay app. Now let me create a test plan for execution so that we can establish the defect links to your execution. Let's say regression test plan. Let me create a test plan issue type with regression test planner's name, and also put it into this TD sprint 1, create, and then view the issue. Regression testing cycle. Let's give a name like this way. So environment, build, whatever. You can just add whatever you want. Okay, once a cycle is created, let me add it and then put my test cases inside it. So actually, since the test cases are linked to this particular requirement, you can just search your requirement, and then all the test cases associated to the requirement will be added in the cycle. Let's say TD. This is story 1, right? And then link. You see, once you link your requirement here, the two test cases will be added automatically. Now let me start this cycle. Start means everything is ready. The test cases are chosen from your test case repository, and now we are going to the corresponding executions and finish the execution. Here, I have 2 test cases, right? So you can do assignment, use an update result here, or you can use this execute button. Let's say this test case is failed, or this execution is failed. I can mark it as failed, and at the same time, if you want, you can create a defect directly here from this test execution. It is a critical defect from, let's say, story 1. It is just a name. And then let me choose other information like TD sprint 1 and then create. You see, once the defect creation is done, this defect will be linked to this execution automatically. Once the execution is done, let me switch to the next test execution or the next test case. So in this case, I want to mark this blocked, and then I want to link an existing defects here. You can use this link option. And then let's say TD defect. Let's see bug 2 and then link. You see, it will be linked here automatically. So I didn't create any steps here. That's why there's no steps. But actually, if your step is failed, you can link your defect to your wrong steps or wrong step directly. Let me update now. You see, now 2 executions are down, and there is a test case passed, another one is failed. Oh, sorry. The first one is failed, the second one is blocked. Now, if I go back to my requirement again, refresh, let's see what kind of traceability information we can find here. And then same thing, go back to my test case, and then you are able to expand your test case to check the execution history. You see here, from this particular test plan and from this cycle, it is failed. You can keep going to launch this execution, and you will see the defects is there. So this is how you build relations. And if you go to this defects tab, you see, this is the defect I just created. It is presented here because this test case, this defect is from this execution. So this requirement is impacted by this particular defect. So now let us go back to traceability page to see how these relations are maintained inside TestRay app. Let's just filter my requirement, and then let's just set something here in my test plan. Okay, in the sprint. So I have this TD sprint 1 to filter my test plan issue. You see, this is our traceability matrix. The first column is requirement, and then those test keys are linked to corresponding requirement, and then the test plan and result. So this is kind of relations we have built inside our TestRay, and all these relations are presented inside just one traceability matrix, from requirement to test case to execution to defect. So everything is linked together. This is our powerful links provided by TestRay app. Now, if I go back to one of my test cases, you also can get the relations of your requirement. So they are linked together. So, and even more, if you launch the defect, let's see, there's a defect, and see what we can check from the defect or what we can get from this defect. So this is a defect. You see here, from the defect, you get the test case relations, you get execution relations, you get the requirement relations. So all these links, they are inside TestRay, and it's quite easy for you to track such kind of information. Yeah, it's pretty much for today's webinar. If you have any question, or if you are interested in your product, feel free to reach out to us at sales@goldfingerholdings.com. Thank you. Bye.